Okay, George. Okay, George Pickens, we see you. George Pickens was marvelous. George Pickens, we talked about trading for him the last handful of weeks. George Pickens stepped up, dropping wide receiver one numbers. George Pickens and Mbuka still in this category. Adams still in this category. Kind of three of the most undervalued wide receiver one capable players walking into the last handful of weeks. George Pickens is him.
Audac attack. Audac attack. Lamb. Pickens. Lamb. Pickens. Deck attack. Deck attack. Deck attack. Deck attack. Deck attack.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Well, what a game, what a game, what a game on one side of the football. 33-16 lambasting. You can see the numbers right in front of your face. Let me put this up on screen. We can relish in the glory that is George Pickens, who just dropped a wad on all of your opponents if you had Georgie Boy in the lineup. Now, Lamb dropped an easy walk-in touchdown. They were literally at the 9-yard line roughly, and Lamb ran a route to the left side of the field by the pylon, and he was wide open. Now, Dak did throw a little bit, he could have just lobbed it to him. I saw people in the Patreon saying that, but he's a professional wide receiver. He should have caught this ball. This would have given him about 75 yards and 2 touchdowns on 6 receptions, which would have made Lamb's day almost as glorious as Pickens' day because he would have had a second touchdown. But Pickens, 9 for 144 and a touch, was remarkable, not just in terms of like what he was doing, numbers wise, or just at the end of the day, he was in the right place at the right time. Long touchdown, grab wide open downfield, defensive, mishap or something. Pickens was possessed. I mean, straight up possessed. He grabbed the ball, he turned around, he shed off a defender, and he literally marched like 10, 15, 20 yards, sometimes 30 down the field. And when he got to when he was tackled and he got up, he literally like slammed the ball down, just looked downfield, possessed, aggressive, hungry. And he's basically looking at Jerry in that, in a sense, maybe not actually, but literally speaking, saying, "You're paying me. You're paying me a bunch of money, Jerry, or I'm holding out." Now, this is going to be a wild offseason. If anybody thinks that the Dallas Cowboys are going to play nice with George Pickens, I don't know. They'll tag him and then threaten him with that. George won't take it well. We're going to have like 15 live streams, at least bare minimum, on Pickens' contract extension or, trade or franchise tag in, trade or franchise tag and then sign. We're going to have so much content. But George Pickens, neither here nor there, dropped fire in this game, looking possessed. 9 receptions, 144, 11 targets. Lamb again was good in this game, kind of, I think, overshadowed by that drop, unfortunately. But if he had had that touchdown and 75 yards and 6 receptions, it would be a glorious day. People are absolutely pissed off at Lamb right now because he dropped that football. But Geno Smith led the Raiders in rushing with 14 yards. I wish Genty was on another team. The Raiders are the worst team in the league. It's unbelievable. Brock Bowers, 7 for 72. I mean, it's a good day at the office for Brock. Genty did pull in 6 receptions for 27 yards. So you get that near 9-point PPR production, 8.5, whatever. So not a good day for Genty. He's under 10 points. He's right around like 8, depending on your scoring, 8 to 10 points. Not what you invested in. BTJ, Genty, 2 of the bigger busts. And I'll take the Genty L and wear it on my forehead, because I thought Genty was going to overcome the situation. He did not. That is one of my bigger L's this year, and it sucks. But we've got a lot of W's too for the people that want to shiat all over just misses. We have a lot of wins too. Pickens was a win. Pickens was a great win. Pickens has been a win all year, all offseason. Pickens to the mother freaking moon. Pickens carrying people. What's in store for Genty in 2026? I don't know. If they don't get a top 10, top 12 quarterback in LV, I don't know where you could possibly draft him. Maybe his ADP will be baked in so badly, it'll be in such a bad spot that we'll be able to draft him with a smile, I suppose. But who the hell knows? All I know is this is the worst team in football, and they're so bad, and Pete Carroll deserves to be fired before the season ends. The fact that he even thought that Geno was going to be his guy, the fact that this team paid Geno Smith all this money, Geno robbed this team. And even if they put a different passer in there, like look at Flacco, for example. Flacco goes to Cincinnati, and granted, Flacco looked like trash last week. But the week prior, it was a glory to Flacco. He's amazing. Oh, my God, 40-year-old's a freaking phenom. If Flacco had gone to the mother freaking Raiders, he would have been knocked out of a game in 10 seconds. And so, part of this is not necessarily on Geno, but Geno is not a good quarterback. We got a $20 hauler from Mark Cleveland, who said, George Pickens, are you kidding me? I traded Debo and QJ for Gadsden and Walker. Thoughts? He's like, I guess you went against Pickens, or do you have him and you're just celebrating that? I'm not sure. But trade Debo and QJ for Gadsden and Walker. I think it's kind of an even Steven type of move. Walker looked really good on Sunday, so I'm a little more intrigued by that side, and I still believe in Gadsden. For anybody that's about to jump off the Gadsden train entirely, please understand that Gadsden couldn't do anything, as Ladd McConkey couldn't do anything on Sunday when Herbert threw for 80 yards. No touchdowns, 80 yards. How was Gadsden to do a thing? The argument against Gadsden or Ladd or anybody could say, well, that's what the offense is going to continue to do, Smitty. And if that's the case, then that your stance is that you don't believe that the offense will be good. Herbert was the number one quarterback in fantasy football walking into last week, surprisingly. If you look back on it, it's crazy to think about. It was actually shocking to pull it up. I don't think anybody thought in their right mind Herbert was the 1 or 2 quarterback in fantasy. Well, he was, because he had such a strong rebound the last handful of games prior to this week number 11 unraveling. But I think you got to believe in Gadsden still. He's still a top 5 to 6 potential tight end. And you got to love what Walker did. And I'm pretty intrigued by that side. Debo was really good too, though. But I think Debo is just as capable because of the team he plays for that doesn't seem to know what in the hell they're doing with a coach that should be immediately fired. And QJ not getting what a catch. I mean, again, that's on Herbert as well. Mark, Smitty approved the trade. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Guys, I don't know what to tell you about this Dallas Cowboys situation other than they are going to have their ups and downs, no doubt about it. But the best news in the whole wide world is that Dak Prescott is in a rhythm. The best news you could get is that Lamb is happy, regardless of the drop, and still productive. And George Pickens, if you own George Pickens, he is going to play like a wide receiver 1, even if it's a low-end wide receiver 1 for the remainder of the season. And he has been playing that way all year. He just went through a little bit of a drought when CeeDee Lamb came back. Dak even wasn't targeting Pickens as much, it seemed, in the beginning of the game. And then he started to say, you know what, Lamb, I'm going this way. And then he just started spoon-feeding Pickens over and over and over again. And he turned to Pickens as if he was his number 1 wide receiver. Now, I think we got to be careful to just sit there and go, oh, okay, now this is the one. And no, Lamb, this is a great buy low opportunity. And let me just say this: if Lamb had caught, Lamb finished with what was the exact line again? Lamb chops finished with where is it? It's right here. Lamb chops finished with it was 566-1. 566-1. Had Lamb had 6 receptions, caught that pass, went to 75 yards and 2 TDs, what do you think would happen? We'd walk out of this game as Lamb being completely untouchable. You couldn't trade for him if you tried to sell your eldest kid. You wouldn't be able to get lamb chops for anything. He had 2 touchdowns. He had a remarkable day, but he didn't have 2 touchdowns. He had 1 touchdown. He didn't have 75 yards. He had 65 yards. He didn't have that one last easy walk-in touchdown catch. He had 5 catches. This line makes him very, very attainable, and that is fantasy football. Welcome to fantasy football.
Mashed potatoes!
Which also means welcome to buy low on lamb.
I smell meatloaf. Meatloaf.
So 1 measly drop, and it wasn't, he can catch it. 1 drop makes him tradable. 1 drop means that you can go get Lamb right now, especially given that Pickens had the huge day and Lamb didn't rival him. If Lamb had rivaled Pickens' big day, no one would be scared of Lamb. Now we can buy Lamb a little bit cheaper. It's actually wild. Isn't that crazy how fantasy works? Same thing with Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams he could have easily had that touchdown in any normal situation. Any team would have run Javonte into the end zone. Javonte, 22 totes for 93 yards. What was this receiving? Javonte, did he have any receiving? Yeah, 1 for 0. Okay, so 1 PPR point. So he had 90. What do you have? 93 yards. Okay, so 22. Let's go back to the board real quick. 22. So same thing applies for Javonte here. Where's my eraser when I need it? Where's my damn eraser? So Javonte had 9. What was it again? Damn it. It was 93 yards on 22 carries. So 93 yards, 1 catch for 0 yards. The guy got you 10.3 points. 10.3 points. Javonte, you can buy low on Javonte, ladies and gentlemen. You can now buy Javonte low. He just had a 10-point game. You know who also had a 10-point game? Genty. Or maybe 8.5, 9 points. You're talking about 1 point difference. Javonte played pretty good. Javonte, just about 1 extra carry, Javonte would have walked away with 98 yards maybe and a touchdown. And guess what that would have made him? Untouchable to a degree. Very high value player that you'd have to target and overpay for. Now all of a sudden, this man has 90 yards and 0 touchdowns, and he has a 10-point game. And you can now go trade for him. So it's just wild how fantasy football works. It's just wild. All right, let's see here. What else we got here? We got super chats I'll get to in a second. I just want to say this. My takeaway from this game, other than that the Raiders are the worst team in the league, and we talked about it on the Patreon, that it would be awesome. This is my suggestion to the NFL. And it triggers from the Patreon conversation. So credit to the Patreon conversation for even having this conversation. Conversation was that springboarded this thinking was that the worst team in the league should be kicked out of the NFL. And so the Raiders should be kicked out of the NFL. And the thinking is the NFL should take the bottom 4 teams and put them in a D league, so to speak, and that the teams got to get out of the D league, similar to our Marsman and Moonman league. So to make it so that teams don't dive for a draft pick, to make it so you're shamed, to make it so you fight harder, your GM makes better decisions, to get into the bottom 4 of the NFL, to get put into this sub league where you got to climb out of it. The bottom 4 teams go into it, and then they have to compete by themselves, and they don't get to play with the big boys the next year. They got to win that group of 4 and replace the team that drops out. I think it would be an amazing idea. I don't think anyone's going to listen to me. I mean, I'm not an idiot, but I'm just telling you, it would be a phenomenal idea to make teams dread being the worst team in the league. Make these GMs fight. They'd spend more money. They make sure they're not pinching pennies, and they get better coaches, and they'd wait less time to fire coaches. They'd wait less time to make trades. If you were put in the bottom 4 teams in the league. It's like a Premier League similar, yes, but in the same, you're not creating a sub league. You're saying this NFL will include these four teams, but they will not be allowed to play with the other teams. The big boys will play up here, and the bottom four teams will play down here. And to get in here, you have to win and have the best record out of this rotational play, whatever the case may be, total points, however you want to do it, and the loser drops back down. Well, actually, the bottom four will drop. I don't know how they'd actually do it. We'd have to see. Maybe if maybe they did some sort of rotational play against the big boys a couple times a year to decide who could come out and who is to drop down. Regardless, you're the bottom four, you're down at the bottom. Maybe each year they look at it a certain way. The bottom four here rotate down, and there's some sort of like twosie swap. I don't know. But bottom line is these teams just absolutely are trash. Cardinals probably one of the same teams that would be in the competition for the bottom four. The Raiders most certainly would. Commanders, it'd be fun to watch the Commanders drop down into this little D league because of what the kind of shiat they're pulling right now. And the fact that they're not getting rid of Quinn, the fact that everybody's sleepwalking on firing these coaches, the fact that no one makes a bold trade for a quarterback in the middle of the season, the fact that these teams don't want to spend money, the fact that Jerry Jones got rid of Parsons, that should be punishable by getting dropped down into the foursome. Maybe if you're an owner and you end up sitting in the bottom four too long, you get kicked out of the NFL. I mean, look, there's accountability for most all of you that have scorecards in your job. Why not have a scorecard for these teams? You consistently are a bottom four team. You should be booted out of the league. I think it's a brilliant conversation. Jets are already gone. Jets are bad. Let's hit these supers and then we'll maybe open up some phone lines. Rise Above says 7-4, 14-man league, now lost to London, but I have Rice and Diggs. Diggs is fine. London, hopefully will be back for you, though, at some point. Lamb is worthless, no longer a wide receiver one. Pickens double targeted him. Tyler, you're overreacting quite a bit. Is Lamb still a top 5 overall wide receiver? Yes, Tyler, he is. Is Pickens playing better than him? Yes, Tyler, he is. But is Lamb no longer a wide receiver one?
Get lambed.
To Jupiter.
Lamb's still going to Jupiter, pal. Maybe Saturn right now. But guess who's going to Jupiter right now?
Jupiter.
At least it'd be Pickens. And guess who's taking a lap for that comment? Thank you for the super chat, though, Tyler, but don't overreact, my guy. You do a lot of overreacting. You do. You're in the comments constantly. Smitty, I guess Mahomes is really bad, and then Mahomes has 3 TDs in the second half, and you've got comments all over my YouTube in the first quarter, second quarter. Like, just take a deep breath. It's a marathon. Not only is a game a marathon of 4 quarters, and you're in there in the first quarter dropping all these panic messages on my channel, but it's also a marathon of games. It's a marathon of quarters, a marathon of games, and a marathon of years. There's 3 stages to it, Tyler. Need a wide receiver. What receiver can I get for Genty? Right now, I don't know, bro. JMO, if you're lucky. Lad you probably have to go to a struggle bus wide receiver right now. You could trade for an injured London. You could trade for Adams if you're lucky and someone's sleeping at the wheel. You could give up something. Your best bet is to try. If you were to try and trade Genty right now and trade him straight across, you're not going to get what you want. But if you trade Genty and a player, maybe you can get somebody sleepwalking on Rice right now because they're upset at Rice. Maybe you can get somebody sleepwalking on Buka right now because they're upset at Buka. I've got comments all over saying, is Buka done? Is Buka done? What's wrong with people? So, yeah, there's a world to get into something. If you're to do Genty straight up, you're probably looking at Lad. You're probably looking at George Pickens is off the table.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
George Pickens was attainable. You could have traded Genty for Pickens before the game kicked off. Pickens was somebody we talked about consistently for the last 2-3 weeks and all offseason long. So much so that we created this damn thing.
Deck attack. Deck attack.
Tyler said, I'm not upset at Rice. He played Denver. So Rice gets a pass. Okay, Tyler. Another potential trade you could do, Genty for JJ. I saw that in the live chat. That's a good one. So those are some options for you. Hopefully you can cook up something, my boy. Thank you, De La Torre, for the super chat. You're the man, the myth, the legend. And, there is still hope for Genty, but it's inconsistent hope. So, yeah, I would also be trying to flip if I could. I still like him in Dynasty, but there's some things that need to happen for me to feel really comfortable with what you're holding him when you can trade him potentially low. And I buy in Dynasty at the right seller dweller pricing. We'll talk about that all offseason. Would you drop Dart or Purdy for Brissett? I would not drop Dart, so it'd have to be Purdy. And I'm not saying I like the idea of dropping any of them with the quarterback situations right now. You can almost trade, or if you can't trade anymore, you can almost poach or hold quarterbacks so other people can't grab them. Traded Metcalf and Tracy for Harvey too much? No, I mean, people are going to be scared of Harvey, but it's still not a closed door. People were scared of Hendy 2 weeks prior to week 10. They were like ready to get out on Hendy. So people will feel that way about Harvey. It's fine. 7-4 needed a wide receiver, so I got Chase. I got Chase for Kyron. I mean, I don't hate that. I do think that there's a world where Jamar Chase could be a concern, but there's also a world where it's not something that anybody should be overreacting on. But I mean, it depends on your record. You're going to be without him a game. Will Flacco get injured? Will Flacco last no matter what? Will Burrow even come back if this team's out of playoff contention? And what if Flacco's hurt and Burrow doesn't come back and then Chase is mediocre? Love the show. Rest of season, do you like Dak or Stafford? I think they're both about even. I think Stafford is probably a little bit more of a injury risk, but at the same time, if we look at leaders, we go to quarterbacks, and this probably will not include today's game, so it'll probably include Stafford's game and not Dak, so this might be hard to actually do right now. I don't think it'll have it, but Stafford was number 6, I believe. Bo Nix is number 5. Stafford is 6. I don't know if this is including, it's got to be including Sundays, guys, but I don't think it's including Dak's game right now. But if I added Dak at 174 in this particular format, let me just see real quickly how many points he had. He had roughly 24 to depending on your scoring, but in this particular league, he was QB3 this week. Add that onto it. Maybe you're looking at, let's see here, 200. You're looking at probably QB7 or 8. So they're dead even, 6, 7, 8. They're both in that territory. I would probably lean toward chat. Who do you like moving forward, Dak or Stafford? Stafford's been playing amazing ball, just absolutely amazing football. But he's never been QB1, but he's been QB2 twice. He's been QB8 twice. He's been QB4. He's then had a few mediocre games. He started off the season slow. But listen to Stafford's QBs, man. Look at this. 6'7", 6'7", right around there. Listen to this. This is actually, let me just show you. Let me put it on screen. This is a remarkable string of touchdowns. Unbelievable. Let's put this up on screen. This is crazy. I mean, if you don't own Stafford and you don't look a lot at other, players scoring a lot, and I do, but this particular one is something that still surprises me. Look at Stafford's touchdowns. Week 1, 1 TD. Week 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 1, 5, 4, 4, 2. I mean, he's been incredible. Incredible. The yardage hasn't quite been there. Stafford hasn't thrown 300 yards in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. And he only has 2 games, the 2 prior, where he's thrown for 300 yards. He's been unbelievable. Dak Prescott has also been very good. Now, his ranking, again, probably around 7, 8, somewhere in that territory. This screenshot will show and include Week 11's stats, so we can definitely examine these side by side. It's a great question. There's no real strong, concrete answer, though. This comes down to preference. It also comes down to predicting, what team you think is going to be marching on in such a fashion that there's no roadblocks, there's no, but what are they fighting for, et cetera, et cetera. Both teams are fighting This is Dak's line. Dak has had 2 struggle bus games prior to this game. They were against two tough defenses, in terms of the passing against numbers. He has Philly, KC to go next. Those are 2 very tough matchups. Then he's got Detroit after Detroit. So the schedule matters. The schedule matters. You look at Stafford. Let me pull up Stafford again in a second. You got. So this is Dak's schedule. Philly, KC, Detroit is easy. Minnesota, LAC, and then Washington in championship week 17. So that's kind of a brutal schedule. There's week 17 is nice, but that's kind of a brutal schedule. Whereas Stafford's going up against, let me see if I can pull up Stafford. There it is. Stafford's got Tampa Bay next week, Carolina the next week. Those are cakewalks. Arizona, look, they're kind of tough on paper, but they're not. Especially with the injuries right now. Who knows what the injuries look like, the injury situation in week 14. Then Detroit. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 really nice matchups, in my opinion, for Stafford in a row. Then he has Seattle in week 16, which quite frankly, we don't know what they're going to look like at that stage. Seattle was not Seattle's self in this past game. And what happens? Is there something going on? Are they going to unravel a little bit? And Atlanta in week 17. My answer is going to be Stafford, because Stafford has quite arguably one of the better schedules for quarterbacks going forward. I'm going to say Stafford, final answer. Great question, though. Thank you for asking it. And that probably helped a lot of people that were debating a very similar question. All right. Let's go. This one here from Christopher. Would you have you trade AJB for Woody Marks? That's a pretty tough call. I think if you needed a running back, I could understand it. If you needed a wide receiver, I could understand that side. It just comes down to, I think, position of need. Woody Marks is a tough player to rank right now. He had 18 carries last week, did not get much room to run. It was a nice matchup, and he still didn't deliver. But the 18 carries was a career and season high. So that was promising, but he got 2.4 yards per carry. I would probably say this next matchup against Buffalo, which is a good one, a green-lit matchup, I think he could maybe create some sort of new narrative than the one that he's heading toward right now, which is 18 carries for 44 yards. And he got 1 target, 1 catch, 7 yards. This is a guy that's more than capable of pulling in 3, 4, 5, 6 passes a game if they wanted to throw the ball to him. I'm going to go ahead and say and understand that maybe this is Mills not throwing the ball to him as much, because since Mills has been in the lineup, he has not got as much usage in the passing attack. Maybe Stroud will, if he returns to the lineup the next week, maybe Stroud will target him. I don't know. But Woody Marks, to me, is probably more valuable than AJB at this point. Chat, vote on it. AJB or Woody Marks? Woody Marks or AJB? Please vote on it right now. I'm going to say Woody Marks. I mean, 18 carries is nice, bro. That's a real nice number. Pretty promising. I traded Genty for JJ. I'm fine with that. I gave up pick. I'd rather have JJ than Genty. In fact, I'll put that on the board later. We're going to do a lot of these. So Genty, my favorite move for Genty is to go get Dowdle. Dowdle, as people dowdle him a little bit more. He didn't score, but he did. They just called the touchdown back. So Dowdle had kind of that like mediocre but like good game, and if you saw it, you knew he did better than he did. Genty for JJ, that would be an unbelievable trade, and that's doubting JJ, but I doubt JJ way less than I doubt Genty. I gave up my Pickens and Monty for Olave and Jalen Warren. No, that's an L. I'm sorry, Fantastic. I know I'm going to say that. I mean, look at what Pickens just did, bro. I like Olave. Jalen Warren got banged up. Could have came back into the game, they said, but now you got Gainwell in the mix. Big L for me. Sorry, I know that's not what you wanted to hear, but I'm always going to give you the honest truth, bro. Thank you for the super chat. I'm pretty sure I'm not alone, bro. I don't think I'm off base on that. I think the chat would probably agree. Chat, do you agree? That's a pretty big L. Would you take Jamar Chase and Chase Brown for Amon-Ra and Travis Etienne? Travis Etienne and Amon-Ra St. Brown, it's not even close, bro. It's not even close. Sorry. Or would you take Jamar Chase and Chase Brown? Yeah, Amon-Ra Etienne. Why is it not close? One, you're out of game with Jamar Chase. Two, well, you know what? Hold on. Maybe I'm going a little overboard by saying not close. Chat, vote on this one. St. Brown had a bad game, but I have no doubts about St. Brown. I worry about Jamar Chase. I worry about Jamar Chase with Burrow. I think this is one of those things where it might look like I'm overreacting, but I'm foreshadowing what I believe is to come, which is that Jamar Chase could be a concern. I think I went a little overboard by saying not even close. Let's see what the chat says. Amon-Ra just because says random. Amon-Ra. I think Amon-Ra wins, but I just think I overdid it. I don't think I should have said not even close. It is close. But I'm predicting and projecting that the Bengals have a little bit more troubled waters potentially. Plus, Etienne looked really good. Make sure you get Tootin if you can. But it's closer than I'm sorry. I shouldn't have gotten so crazy. Here's Husseini. Needed 7 points to win. 94-101. Final chip kill. Man, I'm sorry. Husseini, this was my fear with Genty. I was like you, though. At the end of the day, I wanted to start Genty. But when I first started talking about it, my initial fear was that it's the Raiders. But I knew this is the play you wanted, so we stuck with it. There's certain things I don't want to talk somebody out of, and that was a call you really wanted to go with. And I'll be honest, Husseini, I really thought Genty could have had a big day. This matchup was golden. The question is, if he can't deliver in this matchup, how can he? And I don't think it's on Genty, but I do think Genty's confidence is getting shot. You know, I don't think that this is an environment where Genty is getting the best of himself and putting it onto the field. And I don't think he's, this isn't something, man, I'm sorry, Husseini. I'm sorry, my boy. Need 7 points. Okay, so he says, I wish I started Chase Brown over Harvey Genty. Yeah. Both generational talents with incompetent coaches who refuse to feed them the ball. Genty 6 carries all game. It's crazy. He had another game where he had 6 carries. This is incompetency at its finest. Husseini, thank you for the 20. I'm sorry about your loss, bro.
Alert. Super chat alert.
All right, where are we at? Tyler says, I gave Pickens for Pearsall and a 26 first rounder. I wouldn't have done that, Tyler. Pickens looks phenomenal, bro. I assume you did that before the game. If you did that after the game, you sold Pickens too quickly on a knee-jerk reaction. And granted, a 26 first could be something great, but we don't know what it is. If you could promise me as a top 3 pick, I'd probably do it. But 7-4, 10-man PPR, Josh Allen, Rico, Etienne, Tootin, Woody, Hendy, Sampson, Mason, Igbuka, Worthy, T. Any moves got offered? Aaron Jones for Zay. That one doesn't. I'd rather have Zay, I suppose. And would I make a trade? Josh Allen, no. Rico, no. Etienne, Tootin, I like that. Woody, maybe you could trade Woody, but I don't know if anybody's going to see the value that we see in Woody with the volume and the situation. Worthy, T. It's a good team. I'm not trading Buka on the low. I guess the only thing you could consider doing, there's not a lot of trade ability here, my man. There's just not. If you were to trade like Etienne and Tootin with Worthy or with T for one monster RB, but then you got to roll light with Zay and Watson, which I don't mind doing. Like Worthy and T are good. I would get rid of them if you could turn Etienne into, let's say, James Cook or Achane or Bijan or Bucky, even maybe. You're 7-4. You could wait on Bucky, but it's a risk. Etienne's playing good. I think I'll probably stand down if you don't find the right running back like Achane to go get using Etienne, Tootin, and T. Higgins, which I would do. I would do that for Achane or above. Maybe James Cook. I think it could be worth it for you. Alec, appreciate you with the super chat, my man. Feeling like I made a mistake sending Tyler Warren K9 away for Judkins and Loveland. Just give it some time, Alec. I mean, it certainly could play out that way. It could play out either way. I don't think this is when I read it, it's not something that makes me want to run. I have Mahomes, Jamar, Amon-Ra, Achane, Judkins. Your team's really, really good. Keep the faith, bro. Your record, what's your record? Are you out of the playoffs or something? Like, if you're still like a 6-win team and you're in the playoffs, your team's fine. Your team will be fine. Tyler Warren's a monster. K9 is going to be maybe back and forth, and Judkins is just not playing as well as I think he will. And I still believe in Judkins. His situation is good. His schedule is great. I wouldn't freak out over that. 7-3, Genty and Knicks for Lamar. I'd take Lamar and run. I know Lamar failed people this week, but it's worth the risk. And if it didn't work out, I'd still feel fine with it because I know what the potential is for Lamar, and I know he's going to play better. Have Hendy, Harvey, Bucky, Hampton, Rice, Buka, Pickens, Tyler Warren, and Gadsden. Have a Flacco as well. Genty, Knicks for Lamar. Take the trade, bro. Harvey, I'd do it. I know some people are down on Lamar. It's fine. Need a wide receiver bad. Have Pat Mahomes and Stafford. Was offered Pat and MHJ for either Ladd or Nico. First of all, Ladd and Nico are not close right now, so don't be using that don't go trading that for Ladd. Would I take Nico? I think I probably, like, Stafford's playing good enough that you could probably do this. I would take Nico. I'd rather give Stafford, though, than Mahomes, but I would trade Mahomes for Nico. And MHJ is not that big of a deal to me. I would try and get Ladd and Nico. You could maybe get something. Tried to get Pickens, but trade tonight killed the trade. I'm sure it did. Anybody that had Pickens on the block took him off the block tonight. Need help, got offered my Bijan, Jawan for Rice, Tyler Warren. I would probably say, wow. Chat, can we vote on this one? Jawan Johnson and Bijan for Rice and Tyler Warren. I'm going to say that Tyler Warren, as amazing as he is not so far away from Jawan Johnson that I'm trading Bijan to upgrade. I think I keep Bijan. I love Bijan still. I'm not that panicked about Bijan. I'm buying Bijan, holding Bijan, and selling Bijan. In your perspective, I'm holding him. It just depends on what angle you're coming from. 7-4, but vote on that one, chat. I'm sure everybody in here, for the most part, is going to say, let's go full go on holding him on this situation. I think if you were going to like trade him for Cook and Buka, like, of course. Flacco, Burrow, JD5, CMC, JT, Bucky, Rico, Rice, London. What do you need help with, bro? This team's fired. Now, I know London, Debo, you're not going to be able to trade London. You're just not. Would you trade Rico and Debo for Chase? In your situation, I think I probably would. Your running backs are absolute straight fire. Yes, you're just like I say, Chase is a buy, a hold, and a sell. Your perspective, Chase is a buy. That's fantastic, Paco. That's a great trade. Pickens is the best value in wide receiver fantasy football. Awesome. Agreed. I mean, value-wise, he's fantastic. 10-man Superflex Dynasty. Need advice on London. Uber talented, but can't stay healthy. Do I hold or move on from a package? If I trade, what's the package? Superflex Dynasty. Need advice on London. I would trade London for... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like Judkins and a receiver, or London for Pickens, but that's going to be off the table now. London for Buka. You got to give up a little bit more. I maybe consider it depending on what it is. London for, let's see here. Right, give up a little bit. Giving up London for JJ, Rice, or Buka is a very smart play. Probably the best route 1-for-1. And in some of those cases, you give up a little bit more. If it was a running back, you would give up London for probably Judkins, James Cook, Achan, you could do some sort of Bucky trade, and in some of those cases, you have to give up a little bit more. I got Drake May and Brissett. Got offered Puka for Brissett and MHJ. No, you didn't. Puka got offered Puka for Brissett and MHJ. No, you didn't. I got Drake May and Brissett. Got offered. First of all, I think that would get vetoed if you have vetoes. I hope you don't have vetoes. Vetoes are trash. But that's insane. Do you mean Puka? Or do you mean Buka? You said Punka. P-U-N-K-A. That could be Buka or Puka. I don't know which one. You're going to have to clarify that. The Dak Attack Stack celebrating my Cowboy win. Greg, congratulations on the Dak Attack Stack. Absolute phenomenal news for our boy Greg. Shelly with a $50 hauler. $50 hauler.
Give me $50 holler.
Thank you for that. Team 1 was down going into Monday Night Football. Lamb got me the win. No regrets with picking him as my number 1 wide receiver. Now to get Bucky back soon. 7-4, third place. On your way. On your way. Congratulations on that.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I smell meatloaf. Hey, Ma, the meatloaf. Fantastic. Thank you, Shelly, for the super chat, truly, and congrats on the comeback. And your team is going to be firing on all cylinders. Husseini says Pickens exploded for me, just a genty to crap the bed. Yeah, Pickens. Oh boy, I mean that's what was brutal. Like, first of all, that Pickens call was amazing. Husseini, we did all that in groupthink style, and Pickens was a tough. Like, can you imagine fumbling that one? That would have been, you would have been sick to your stomach. But yes, the problem was going with Pickens and then sticking to Ladd instead of Chase Brown. And I think even Genty was, in hindsight, still the smart play at the moment. It was Dallas. The volume should have been there. I think Ladd McConkey, I wish we could have swapped that out for Chase Brown for you. But man, Pickens really did come through, bro. Yeah, I mean, he was a baller. On to the next week, not giving up. We'll be calling in later in the week for lineup and start sys. Thanks, Smitty. Thank you, Husseini. I'm sorry that we didn't call this right. We tried to do as best a group think as we could. Maybe we put a poll up, an actual web poll and a link, and then that way everybody can vote on it. Because Husseini, I want to make sure we get this right for you this coming week. Husseini to the moon. It was a tough call. Genty or Chase Brown. Chase Brown or Genty. Oh, man. Trade my Judkins for their Kelsey Swift. Trade my Judkins for their Kelsey and Swift. I would rather have Judkins, to be honest, but it feels a little bit riskier. I think Swift is he's been really steady this year, but I do worry about injury with him. I do worry about Monungai. I still really like Monungai. Judkins has a great schedule. They don't throw to him enough. Is the offense going to survive? I don't know. Those are questions that could bring Judkins down, but I don't know. It's tough to say. Chat, would you rather go Swift and Kelsey or Kelsey Swift? Would you rather go Kelsey and Swift, the combo, the duo? Is that a sign to avoid him or to go get him? Or Judkins? I would lean Judkins, but there is risk involved. Please know that we don't fully know if Judkins is going to be the monster we think he could be because the offense is so bad. But, it is what it is. Full PPR, 14-man starter, Caleb, Saquon, Hendy, Jamo, Judy, Bowers, Chase Brown, London, Garrett Wilson, Terry, A-Rod, Loveland, Tootin, 6-5. Trade my London, Terry, and Caleb for JJ and Hurts in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
You've just been...
In a heartbeat. Definitely one that I would swap real quickly, because you get Hurts. That's very helpful. And JJ, I still believe in enough to say give me JJ over London straight up. I mean, that's what we're looking to make that move right now. That's fantastic. So great job. Thank you for the super chat. What else we got? Let's see here. I'm going to read some of the other chat questions here and see if I can get. London and Marks for Igbuka Good or too much? London and Marks for Buka. I'd rather have Buka, bro. I'm not going. Why would we get rid of Buka? Why does everybody want to get off the Buka train? Absolutely not, bro. Have Pickens still lost my week. Sorry to hear that, Gordon. Kelsey Swift. Pickens is unguardable, says Rico. That's sure right. Or Ricky. Please help. Need advice. Stevie Wonder wants to know. Should I give away Puka and Chase Brown for K9 and Jamar Chase? No, absolutely not. 0% of me wants to do that. Very, very absolute 0% of me. No way, bro. Come on. Knicks, Gibbs, Kyron, Henderson, Harvey, London, Kelsey, Rice, Benson, Flowers, Debo, Garrett Wilson, 7-4 moves before the trade deadline. Running backs are fire. Knicks is top 6 quarterback production right now. Henderson, Kyron, and Gibbs is fantastic. You got Harvey sitting there. London, Kelsey. You got Rice. Got these listed completely out of order, by the way, Michael. How am I supposed to know what your team looks like when you got Rice buried at the end of it? You got Rice in there as a flex. I would say, first of all, take London out. He's not worthy of the spot. Let's move London and Benson, or London and Debo, London and Garrett Wilson, London and any combination. All of them, some of them. Hold Hendy, hold Kyron, hold Gibbs. But we're trying to trade London and Debo. London and Debo and Benson, maybe, even all three of them, whatever, to go get something that you can plug in that, like Pickens was the ideal, and I'm not saying that you can get him now, obviously, but we were saying it for weeks. Pickens, go get him. He's a wide receiver 1. He's the latest wide receiver 1 you can go grab. The same players that have that mold, Adams has low-end wide receiver 1 value, just like Pickens did. Like Buka still could be a high-end wide receiver 1. Other wide receivers, if they even exist, that you could get rid of in this type of trade would be probably, so it'd be Buka, Rice. You're not going to get St. Brown, but St. Brown's buyer, you can get him lower. So Buka, Rice, Adams. He doesn't give up a lot more for St. Brown. Jamo Williams is kind of flirting with that territory, but he's a little lower than that. Would I trade London for Jamo straight up? I mean, I don't think so. I would want to do like a Jamo and something because the fair market value could command it. So I wonder if you could go get like a Rico and Jamo for London and Debo. Like something like that, my guy, would be kind of an intriguing proposition. Is this a second $50? Is this a second $50 hauler? It is. Shelly with a second. This is 100. First of all, you get to choose any video you want. And I think you're already on the Dallas Cowboy one, right? You could have this one.
Get lambed.
You know, no one's ever requested that one. No one's ever wanted to be on the lamb board.
Smitty, everybody's pretty. $100+ I don't even know why they're getting ditty, why? $100+ Oh.
Unbelievable. Okay, team 2 was down going into Monday night. Pickens and Dak got me to 8-3. So you had Pickens, Dak, and CeeDee Lamb across 2 teams. You had a day.
Oh, Dak attack. Oh, Dak attack. Lamb. Pickens. Lamb. Pickens. Dak attack. Dak attack.
Drop the triangle emoji.
Get lambed.
All right, now you're on this one. The first person to ever be on the Dak attack video. The first person to ever be on the Get Lambed video, which is probably one of, if not our oldest, like video drop or animation that we have is Get Lambed, and no one's ever requested this one. So congrats for getting on both those first. True Cowboys fan. They're like you can't, when someone says, "Oh, how long you been a Cowboy?" I'm on both video drops as the first person to ever have the claim to it. you got evidence right there. We got a couple more super chats here. I think there's 4 new ones that came in here. Ben, appreciate you. 10 team full PPR. Thank you again, Shelly. Appreciate that. Caleb, Lamb, Buka, Debo, Rico, Hendy. Nice team. Really. It's a good team. Warren, Pierce, Sean Tucker. Nice job. IR, J85 Benson. Any moves? Mahalo. Thank you. I really like your receivers. I really like your running backs. They're kind of crafty. I don't see much but Benson, maybe Sean Tucker, because you don't have Bucky. You could go to the Bucky owner and see what you could potentially move Benson and Sean Tucker for. You could also potentially move Debo, Sean Tucker, and Benson. But I think that's where I would go. I leave Lamb and Buka alone. I look at a quarterback upgrade in that Sean Tucker, Debo, and Benson type of situation. Yeah. And I leave your tight end room alone. You could upgrade. It could make this to upgrade Debo. It could be to upgrade Debo, or it could be to grab another RB potentially, or quarterback upgrade. But I think that those are the avenues that I would take with that one. Thank you for the $1 drop, Luke. Appreciate you dropping that. Fantastic. Dropping another one. Says 6 and 5. Josh Allen, Jawan Johnson, Rice, Roma, Lave. Okay, MHJ, BTJ. Henry, ETN, Jalen Warren, Aaron Jones, Benson, Vidal. How does this look? It looks solid. I think if you're a move away, if you were to trade, let's say, Olave on the high or MHJ and Olave together for that one doubted wide receiver, I really want to see you get into a Buka or a, even an Adams is intriguing. MHJ and Benson for Adams, Olave and Benson, or Olave and MHJ for Buka. James Cook maybe using Olave and Benson and MHJ, or a running back equivalent to that. That would be intriguing. Upgrading ETN using MHJ or using Olave to upgrade ETN into a James Cook or higher. Ben, those are all be things I'd be trying. Basically upgrading. I'm a big upgrade guy, as you can tell. Knicks, Gibbs, Kyron Williams, Henderson, Harvey, London. Let's get rid of London and Debo. London, get Garrett. What? Didn't I already answer this one? I think I did. Kyron Williams, Henderson, Harvey. Yeah, I did. So we're just getting rid of London, and you put Rice out of order. That was right. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, bro. Keep trying. Use Debo. Use Garrett Wilson. Use Benson. Use London. Try and get into one safer player. Just one. Trade as much of that as you can of those doubted players. I dropped 10 gifted earlier today as good vibes for Pickens matchup, and it delivered. Carlos, we did appreciate that. I hope you saw that. We all appreciated you. Let's drop some more. Is Carlos? Thanks, Carlos. Carlos with a $5 hauler. Appreciate you. Thank you, Carlos. Carlos just dropped 10 gifted memberships right now.
You've just been Smitty approved. Get lambed.
Deck attack.
Carlos doing work tonight. Good vibes. $20 hauler from Racing Boy. $20 hauler. Racing Boy, appreciate you very, very much for dropping
Alert.
that.
Super chat alert.
Racing Boy says, my Superflex Dynasty team is Josh Allen, May, JD5. Okay. I like this. Superflex is a very solid QB room, bro. You could even maybe afford to move a quarterback. It's always good to have 3, but you got Josh Allen and May. It's pretty damn good. You could toy around with it. Let's see if you need to. Gibbs, Bucky, Hendy, Genty. Honestly, as much as I love Genty and it is Dynasty, you could still use the Dynasty angle to still trade him if you wanted to get into a different receiver. Like, let's say you move Genty in London or Genty and MHJ. All players I still like in Dynasty, but this could also help you win this year, but also build, into something. If, let's say, you could buy low on a player like JJ right now using Genty and MHJ for JJ right now. The JJ owners pissed off at him. They don't want him. They don't like him. They don't know what's in store. And it'd be intriguing if the person that had JJ didn't, they could win right now, and so they didn't necessarily want to hang on to him. Would I trade London for JJ straight up? I would. And I think that in Dynasty, this matters. I don't think that JJ's that far off of London, even when London's back, if London can even hang with JJ, because now his situation's no real different when back, and he's not back. He's hurt. So I think I'm trying to angle a JJ trade right now, Racing Boy. I still firmly believe in JJ from a Dynasty perspective. So that would be my number one potential move. 5 and 6, I lost London and Jamar. And thank you, Racing Boy. Appreciate you. Others would be, and I'm sorry if you have one of these guys. I already closed the screen, but Rice, not playing to his full potential. Buka, you might have had him already. Not playing to his full potential right now, but he will. Lamb Chops is not playing to his full potential. JJ in Dynasty, those are all go-get players. I lost London and Jamar in a must-win Week 12. Would you trade London for Ladd and Trey Tucker? Probably not. I would want more, but I understand this trade. I just don't think Trey Tucker's the right second piece. I don't think I'd just surrender London because of the Week 12 situation, because, bro, I mean, Ladd is still, in a situation where he just had, practically 0 points. Not his fault, but will things be fixed by next week? How's that look? I think you can just command more. Fair market value should still dictate a little bit, even though we might like Ladd and we're quietly trying to get out of London. Aren't there easier ways? Can't you get JJ from the frustrated JJ owner? Can't you get Buka Rice, etc.? And you may have had one of those. I'm just throwing out as many names as I can think of. It helps other people, too, that are in very similar situations. Trade away Brees and Chase Brown for CMC, yes. I don't think you're going to pull that off, though. If you're trying to pull that off, like, who's going to trade CMC right now for that? Nobody. So, I mean, if you pull that off, let us know, and we'll celebrate your name. We'll give you a standing ovation. But the values on that are not even close. Can I drop Rashad White and Tesla Lions? Yeah, it depends who you're picking up, though, bro. It really, truly depends who you're picking up. 10-man, 8 and 3, just traded London for Rico. Love it. That's what we've been talking about. It's on the board right here. There it is. Been talking about it. London for Rice, London for Buka, London for Rico. Bijan for Achane, Bijan for Rice plus something. Jamar Chase for Rice, Jamar Chase for Buka and something. Chase Brown for Dowdle, Chase Brown for Buka. Those are all trades that I would certainly do. Smitty has Lamb drops. We've always had Lamb drops, bro. This is the first drop we ever had.
Get lambed.
That's the very first video we've ever had. And Lamb's amazing. Like, Lamb is, just because Lamb dropped the football does not mean he still didn't play well or that he's a player you should be getting rid of or anything. 10-man, 8 and 3, just traded London for Rico. Love it. QBs, Stafford, Genty, Rico, Henry, Benson, McBride, Jamar, Ladd, Devontae. How do you do? You did good. This is a good team. You're 8 and 3. Things are looking good. Genty, somebody you could trade away, and you can kind of afford to. You could take a little bit of a gamble. So if you were to trade Genty and let's say, damn, part of me wants to take Genty and Jamar Chase for Lamb and something. I'm not saying straight up or St. Brown and something. Just because I think you could get rid of the Genty risk, but it had to be the two players. So I'd have to know who those other players are. But they're just giving you like a wiggle room or a point to go try and figure out what the wiggle room is. Genty for a running back, you're trying to swap him out for somebody you like better than Genty or right there, that's just a little safer. Examples would be Rico, etc. You got Rico, but just an example of value. So Genty and Jamar Chase to go down. And I don't know if the owner is going to feel this way, but go down to St. Brown, go down to Buka, go down to Rice, and then upgrade your Genty slightly. Try that. I like the team, though. It's really good. I wouldn't get rid of Jamar Chase for anything. Understand that. If you needed a couple ideas for Jamar Chase, I do have this right here, where it's Rice and Buka plus something for straight up Jamar Chase if you were to do that type of move. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Will, thank you, Will, for the super chat. Will says, rest of the season, Worthy or Mooney? I think I'd still say Worthy, but, Mooney might have a nice game or two. I mean, he certainly could do well. I mean, he might be better right now because Lamb's out, because London's out. Put up 173 and 185 in my 10-man leagues this week. One of them, I'm coming back from 2-6. The other team is 8-3 now. My defending champ team lost 5 to IR. Rhino, thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry about the L or the injuries, but great job with the season so far. 5-6, 12-man league. Baker, Kyron, Woody, Chase, Devontae Adams, McBride, Parker Washington, Franklin. Okay. Judkins and JJ for Chase, or Harvey and JJ for Chase. Judkins and JJ for Chase, or Harvey and JJ. I would rather give up Harvey right now, but I'm not saying I'm not hoping, or that there's hope that this could change, that Harvey would be worth more than Judkins. But the fair market value in the fact that you got the bye week and there's a lot of concerns, even though there's lots of upsides, I would definitely rather have Judkins and keep Judkins. Problem is, do I want Chase over JJ? I don't know. Chad, are you even wanting? I mean, if JJ stays in your team and you start him, it gets you 8 points, and you're going to be like, well, now Jamar Chase is back. I'd probably rather have Jamar Chase. I would take a gamble on Jamar Chase over taking a gamble on JJ, but I do like getting rid of Jamar Chase, but I like acquiring him in these situations. That's why I say Jamar Chase, is crazy and weird as it sounds, is a hold, a buy, and a sell. And for you, big homie, at the price that Jamar Chase is costing you, which is JJ and Harvey, he's a buy. And so I Smitty approved getting Jamar Chase. But I might shop him.
You've just been...
This is just a game of balancing, right? You're balancing. JJ's not very worth as much right now. He's got JJ McCarthy throwing him the ball. J9's not as good as Flacco. Flacco could get hurt, but that's a what if. So you go get Jamar Chase. Once you have Jamar Chase, you got to say, okay, now Flacco could get hurt. I got Jamar Chase. Can I go get St. Brown? Can I go get Buka and something? Go get Jamar Chase, big homie. Probably one of the easier calls of the night, to be honest. And then try and flip them for Buka and something, or St. Brown and something, or better yet, Rice and something. I'm sorry if you have one of those guys. Again, that's not the point. Jude, appreciate you with the super chat. 12-man, 2 QB super flex. With Burrow coming back, what should I trade for at QB? Well, Stafford's pretty solid. Flacco's playing pretty well, but again, he's a concern. I think if you're trying to go trade for a quarterback right now, and it's hard to trade for a quarterback, especially if your league's not very active. If it's super active, you might. But who's going to trade a quarterback right now? Dak's probably impossible to get. He was one of the best buy lows. Lamar, could you trade Stafford for Lamar and just say, you know what, I was going to get a second quarterback, but I just upgraded instead? And Stafford's been playing way better than Lamar. Can you do that, giving up something like Worthy or AJ Brown, and he gives you back something that's like quietly, like Ladd, JMO, something like that? Throwing a Jalen Warren, not Tyler Warren, a Jalen Warren potentially with Stafford to upgrade into Lamar. Sure, Lamar's cheaper than he should be right now. Plain and simple. If you wanted a quarterback name to go after, Baker would be another good quarterback, like Flacco for Baker, and you give him a Jalen Warren. Maybe an AJ Brown. If you're giving an AJ Brown, I would try my best to get into a quarterback at least at the level of like Herbert, who played very badly this last week. He might be cheaper than he should. Try that. Flacco and AJ Brown for Herbert, which it might be hard to do because Herbert's been really good, but people are weird, bro. Love is interesting, but also a risk. I think Baker's probably a little bit safer. I like Baker as the cheapest go-get quarterback in fantasy right now at the Superflex QB2 level. Does JD5 come back this year? Mixed bag of reactions from me. One moment I feel like maybe he still tries, then I think no. I think he probably does. If it was closer, like to the end of the year, they would call it. But I think the fact that they're still... The only thing is if they're really worried about, that things aren't healing the way that they should, potentially, but I do think he probably comes back. 5-6, 8 seed, 12 team PPR, top 8 make the playoffs. Josh Allen, Bijan, Rico, Rice, Rome, Bowers, Brees, Worthy. This is like my Marsman team, bro. This team should not be in 8th place. It should not be 5-6. This team is a really good team. You've got some bad luck that has happened to you with the wrong. Plus, you've been waiting on Rice. I like it. Any moves to make? Not really, bro. Your team is really solid. Maybe you trade Brees Hall and Rome if you can even get the value for that. Brees Hall and Worthy for just some sort of like James Cook, Kyron maneuver, something like that. I would say Rico, but you have him. I also very much love Buka. Maybe you could trade Brees for Buka straight up. Maybe, Rome and Worthy for Adams. Rome and Worthy for... I mean, you could go after... Yeah, I mean, I'd try for Adams. Otherwise, it's pretty much stand down. Not trading Allen, not trading Bijan, not trading Rico, not trading Rice, not trading Bowers. Brees and maybe Rome for one player like James Cook or whatever. Otherwise, you're probably standing down other than those other two suggestions that I made. Thank you so much for the super chat. Great team. Don't overreact. Sometimes no trade's better than a bad trade. Or in fact, it is. Two keeper, extra flex, Lamar, Gibbs, Javonte Williams, Hendy, JSN, AJB, Bowers, Judkins, bench, JMO, Brees, Diggs, Gadsden, 5 and 6. I don't know who to swap next week. Not trading Gibbs, not trading Lamar. I think Lamar is going to bounce back and you won't get enough for him anyway. Javonte, I don't think you could trade him for as much as you should if you'd scored a touchdown. That last drive, if you just would have got that carry to score a touchdown, which you probably would have scored on that defense, then he'd have 99 yards and a touchdown, and he would be pretty hard to trade for. Now, and you'd be able to sell him high. But now it's a totally different ballgame. He got 9 points or 10 points. So I don't think you can trade him, get enough. Unless you package him. Maybe Javonte and AJB together. Yeah, because you got Judkins down here, who I just saw. You got Brees Hall down here, who I just saw. Let's trade AJB and Javonte or AJB and Brees Hall for one player. James Cook or higher for Rashee Rice, for Emeka Egbuka. Let's trade AJB and Brees Hall. Actually, AJB and Brees Hall for more than Emeka Egbuka, because you can get Buka and something. You could get St. Brown for AJB and Brees Hall. But if you're going AJB and Javonte Williams, that for Buka, that for Rice. And if you trade Brees instead with AJB, you're wanting to maybe get something back. Those are the two best moves and avenues for me. And I like Brees Hall, but I think trading him is something I'd explore. Very much. Man, what a day Pickens had. What a day. What a day. Sell Chase for Rice. I take Rice, and that's what we have on this board, and why I keep showing it is if you have Jamar Chase, Rice straight across, or Buka plus something is definitely something I would consider. Now, there's risk to it, but you got to be able to be okay with it. I mean, is there a chance that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs unfold or something? Sure. But I also think there's a stronger chance that the Bengals unfold, because if Flacco gets injured, I don't know what happens to this team again. Remember where we were at when it was Browning. Burrow should come back. I think Burrow is a competitor and he wants to come back. But so I'm not giving up on Chase. Again, I can't emphasize enough that unless it's like Buka or Rice, you're not trading Jamar Chase. There's a reason Jamar Chase is a hold or a sell. And he's a buy. He's also a buy. Let me put these up here. Hold, sell, and buy next to Jamar Chase. Everything matters about context. Even Bijan is also a player that you would buy. London's a sell. I think it looks a lot like this now. So London is a sell for Rice, Buka, Dowdle. Bijan's a hold, sell, or buy, depending on your angle. I buy him from people panicking. I hold him from people that won't pay enough. And I'm selling him if I can get a Rice plus something, an Achan. Probably and something as well. I think it deserves to be Achan and yeah, it deserves to be Achan and something. Achan and something. Bijan for Rice and something for Achan and something. Jamar Chase, a buy, a hold, and a sell, depending on your angle. Chase for Rice, Chase for Buka and something. If nobody gives you enough, you hold. And if you can buy him for lower than this, then you buy him. It's that simple. 8-3. What do I do with this team? Nix, May, Acham, Bucky, Judkins, Ramondre, Benangai, Chase, JSN, Buka, MHJ, Kelsey. I love the running backs. I like Drake May. Chase, JSN, Buka, MHJ. I don't know, man. I mean, what about Chase and MHJ for one slightly safer player? What about Chase for Rice and something? Rice and something. Try and get something with it. Try and move Kelsey or Ferguson. I'd probably keep Ferguson. So Kelsey, MHJ, and Chase for one wide receiver. Try Jamar Chase for Lamb, and then you give up potentially MHJ or Kelsey with Jamar Chase for Lamb. That's my number one recommend there, because Lamb's great. Lamb just almost had 2 touchdowns. Lamb, that drop was the best thing that ever happened to somebody that didn't own Lamb. Would you trade Chase for JMO and Bucky? Chat, vote JMO, Bucky, or Chase. I'd probably take JMO, Bucky if I needed a move. If you're winning with Jamar Chase, don't try and fix what is not broken. But if I needed a move, honestly, I think I'd take Bucky and JMO. Especially if you can't afford this game that he's going to miss on top of it, you know. I was shouting out comments regarding what Smitty said a half hour ago. Aaron, what do you mean by that? I don't know what you mean by that. Henry and AJ Brown for ETN and Genty. Henry and AJ Brown for ETN and Genty, man. In a redraft, I'd probably say Henry and AJ Brown, and then I'd try and trade AJ Brown in a different deal. But that's a tough question to answer, honestly. It's like a really, really close call between some players that we all have concerns about. Drop Cream Hunt for Sean Tucker. I don't know. Yeah, probably. Don't drop Hunt. Correct. Sketchers is right. Try and trade him. You should be able to get rid of him. Gonna trade Bijan Jefferson for Gibbs, Pickens, Ladd. Bijan Jefferson for Gibbs, Pickens. Yes, Gibbs, Pickens, and Ladd by quite a bit. Smitty, I was trying to jump on the Ibuka train. Shopping London and Marks for Ibuka. I would do that, yeah. 9-2 teams. One. Yeah, try and trade Hunt. I agree with that. But I'm answering the question. In a vacuum, do I want Sean Tucker over Hunt? Probably. But, you know, I'd trade Hunt. I agree with the chat. I just answering in a vacuum, which one do I want? But I would definitely try and trade Hunt. I mean, he is a starting running back, yeah. Like Travis just said. Out 3, 9-2. Rock out 3, 9-2 teams. 1, 8-2 teams. 2, 6-5. Okay, sorry. 3, 9-2 teams. 1, 8-2 teams. The way you're writing this is in another language here. 2, 6-5 teams. Got it. Thank you, Rock Out. Appreciate you. Mike, appreciate you. Aaron, I still don't know what you meant. I actually sick of DK Metcalf on my team. Smitty, I can't trade. Should have been more clear when I said swap my dono. Swap in bench to starters. Okay, yeah. I definitely, some more information sometimes is a little bit better than the Okay, 2 keeper, extra flex. Lamar, Gibbs, Javonte, Hendy, JSN, AJB, Bowers, Judkins, bench, JMO. So JMO and Brees. I would go JMO over AJB, but that'll burn you the day you pull the trigger on it. Just know that. And then Brees Hall. I think you got it right. I think it's AJB. Chad, am I right? AJB, take him out, put in JMO, or do you roll with the crying wheel? Not even the squeaky wheel gets the grease or the oil. Everyone says it's the grease. I know that, but people say it wrong, and so we use both phrases. The squeaky wheel. What about the crying wheel? What about the baby diva wheel? Is that going to get any grease? Thank you, Rockout. Appreciate you. And then Gold. Trade Puka for Rice and Mahomes. I have Drake and Caleb. Well, if this is a super flex, yes. If it's a non-super flex and you got Drake May, why on earth would you need Mahomes? And why would you trade Puka? You know? Puka for Rice and Mahomes. Oh, Drake London. You got to be clear, bro. There's Drake May, there's Drake. You got to be clear on that one. So trade Puka for Rice and Mahomes. You have Drake London and Caleb maybe? I don't know. Where's that Drake May? I don't know. You guys got to be more clear on these double names. I mean, I'm not a mind reader. Gold, clarify real quickly, please. Scotty, hey Smitty, just traded Bucky for JMO and Harvey. I probably wouldn't have done that. I would have super chatted before instead of after. But look, Scotty, I hope Henry does get this value. I will be rooting for you, and when you're correct, I will be literally circling the wagon. I will be the one out there celebrating. I'll have you on my shoulders, and we'll be trotting around, and we'll be saying Scotty GLL to the moon. But fair market value wise, I don't know that I would have done this because Harvey right now just tanked in value. You're buying a $300,000 home for $500,000. We do believe it could be worth $500,000, but you're buying it right now as if it went off and went crazy. So in JMO, I like a lot. I love him, but Bucky's probably worth way more. The fair market value on that trade is way in favor of the other owner. And then did we get a clarification from Gold? Yes, he said London. Okay, so trade Puka for Rice and Mahomes. You have Drake, London, and Caleb. Okay. I would take Rice and Mahomes. I like Rice. Look, Puka's great, but so is Rice. I don't care what anybody says. You get Mahomes, bro. It's a really good trade. I mean, Caleb scores a lot of the times 0 passing touchdowns. Am I not correct that Caleb has had a 0 TD game, and then he had his like 4 touchdown, whatever, and then a 0 TD game? Jaime, Adams, Enrico, or Hendy for St. Brown. I don't know that I like that. I love St. Brown, but Adams is not that far off, and I'm not throwing a Hendy or a Rico in there, bro. I'd say negative on that. I mean, honestly, Hendy for St. Brown, straight up, is the asking price, period. That's it. End of story. Trade Debo and Benson for JSN. You're not getting that. But it's cute, Ben. It's cute. You know. You get that? We quit our jobs. We come work for you. May, wide receivers, Buka, JJ, Diggs, Sutton, Achan, Hendy, Harvey, JCM, K9, Pitts, 5 and 6. Any trades, sell high, hold, or Hendy. Sell high, hold, or Hendy. Or high water? Is that what you're trying to sell high, hold, and high? What are we doing? Sell high, hold, and Hendy? What's that mean? DVO? Start Juwan or Pitts. I'm going to go Juwan for right now. He's earned it. He's earned it. So as far as your team, I would say I probably holding everything. I don't know that you're trading. I'm just gonna say I don't think you're getting what you want for May. People just aren't paying for it. I don't think you're getting what you want for Buka, and I think Buka will rebound. I don't think maybe someone will trade for Hendy, but it'd have to them knocking on your door to overpay. I'm not sure shopping him you'll get what you deserve. Harvey, don't even think about trading him because he's worth nothing right now, and he could be worth gold later. JJ, what's someone going to give you? Maybe you trade JJ, and you could try Harvey, but JJ and Harvey or JJ and Sutton. JJ and Diggs for one safer wide receiver. Try and get Rice for JJ and Diggs. Try and get JJ for Adams. What? Let me see. Chat, JJ or Adams, rank them, please. JJ or Adams. Sell high or hold on. Okay, sell high or hold on Hendy. Got you. I'm sorry, Devo. You even said that clearly. I guess I just the way it was reading was wrong. I'm sorry, Devo. Guys, rank Adams or JJ in the chat, please, because that could be an avenue you take, Devo. JJ for Adams. And I would sell Hendy high in your situation because I think you could use something if someone was going to overpay. If not, hell no, bro. And an overpay would be like Adams and like Javonte. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd have to get the world from. I'm not trading Hendy for one player. I'm trading Hendy to somebody that's going to give me, even though you got him, but like Buka and like, Buka and something. I think Buka and Hendy are equals at the very least. I wouldn't trade Hendy for JJ. I know you got JJ, but I'm just giving you a baseline. But JJ for Adams, JJ and Sutton, or JJ and Diggs. Diggs has got value. Go to teams that have top 5, 6 wide receivers that have no depth at wide receiver, like in their lineup even, and try and give them Diggs and JJ for one wide receiver. Then trust in Sutton, I guess, is your third wide receiver. Thank you, Devo. Appreciate your super chat. Fonz with the super chat. Fonz, appreciate you. Sup, Smitty was 6-4 waiting on Bucky. Traded Rice for Kyron. Still have JSN, Buka, London. Traded Rice for Kyron. I don't hate that trade. Still have JSN, London, Buka. Yeah. God, London was great for you. But JMO steps in. Wilson. Try to trade London and Garrett Wilson for one slightly safer, equal, even if it's like down a step, or London for Adams. Or you roll with JMO, JSN, and Buka. You trade London away with maybe another RB. I don't know what other RBs you have to get a slight RB upgrade by throwing London in. London and Garrett Wilson for one slightly better wide receiver or safe wide receiver. Like Rice. I don't think you'll get a St. Brown, but of course you could try. And don't listen to anybody that says it can't be done, because we've seen some of the dumbest trades happen. We see it every week. Any possibility we can get a box score Bobby for a Take a Lap Records on Spotify? Absolutely. A lot of news breaking on the music and the rocket ship Anti-Heroes band. So stay tuned. There will be some releases. We're going to slow roll out one release at a time. A lot of info to come on that. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you. I'm glad I appreciate your support and the desire to see Rocket Ship Anti-Heroes hit Spotify, which it's there. It's out on Spotify. If anybody didn't know, Rocket Ship Anti-Heroes can be streamed on Spotify right now. Not joking. This is serious. And it's on there now. Let's push it to the top of the charts. Let me see if I can drop the link for you right here. Let me see if I can pull it up. And I will grab this. I will grab this link right now. House Call. Let's take House Call to the top of the charts. There's 2 songs up there right now. Here it is. There it is. Stream it. Stream the hell out of it. We had a pretty good debut of day 1 with streams. It could be better. I don't think we're climbing the charts yet, but we could. We very well could. House Call Handy's up there. I'll play House Call Handy on the way. Actually, let's play it right now.
Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby. Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby. Time he touches the football, baby. Taking it to the house every time.
Music video coming, by the way.
The football, baby.
That's all I can tell you.
Other shows they said do not draft him. Worried Williams said he was small. Your mama won't be making you meatloaf because you got no house call.
So a lot of stuff to come. I don't want to ruin anything yet. Rock Out, but Rock Out is kind of on the right track, sniffing the right track. When's the Christmas album coming? One of the other songs coming? When is this coming? What's going on with it? I'll have information. I'm just hang tight. Just hang tight. Big homie, appreciate you. Right now you can go stream both songs. There's another one for House Call Handy, it's a different song, but it's a Handy song. It's up. There's 2 songs. I just dropped the link. Stream them, do it live. But get ready. 6 and 5, 10-man PPR league. Who should I start week 12? Dart, is he playing? Probably, but let's just, let's see what's what. Flacco, okay. Gibbs, Handy, Chase Brown. RJ's on a bye, so that's easy. So if you need 3 running backs, that is it. If you need 2, it'd be Gibbs and Handy for now. Rice, Buka, probably AJ Brown. If it's 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex, it would be Rice, Buka, Chase Brown. But I think it's going to come down to AJ Brown and Chase Brown, unless you're starting AJB, Rice, and Buka, and then your flex would be Chase Brown. But I would rank them, just so we're clear. Gibbs, Handy, locked. Rice, Buka, locked. And then I'm ranking the next players. Chase Brown, AJ Brown, Debo. So obviously if you can't use another RB, then you go to the wide receiver. That is my ranking. That's my order of things. And don't forget, week number 12... we have Denver on a bye, Miami on a bye, the Chargers on a bye, the Commanders on a bye. Brutal. No Knicks, no Harvey, no Sutton, no Franklin, no Achane, no Waddle, no Tua, no Vidal, no Ladd, no QJ, no Herbert, no Gadsden, no Debo, no Mariota. No Tua. So needing an upgrade. Scored 80 points, expected 120. I don't know. I guess I'm trying to get rid of AJB, bro. AJB and Warren, AJB and Debo, AJB and Chase Brown for one James Cook, for one Rashi Rice type player to put next to Rice. Buka, you got Rice and Buka, the two favorite buy lows. Would I trade AJB for Adams straight up? Abso-mother-freaking-lutely. Would I try and get James Cook using both? Yes. Would I try and get another player higher than that? Yes. Would I try and get HN? Yes. Using the combo. Thank you, big homie. Appreciate you. And the big homie says, I got JMO too. That's nice. That gives you more flexibility to trade Chase Brown and AJ Brown. But Chase Brown and AJ Brown is your key, bro. Your key to this thing. Don't trade anything else. Buying Bowers low is always a wise idea as well. Who's your tight end? I know everyone's gonna be mad at Bowers, but that's why you can probably strike. Oh, you got Warren. No, you're good. If that's Warren, the tight end, you're fine. Is it though? Yeah, it's got to be Warren. Yeah, Warren. You're listing him with your tight ends. Yeah, that's great. I said Jalen Warren earlier. I thought you had Jalen Warren, but that's great. So yeah, trade those two for. I mean, St. Brown might be cheaper than you think. Not specific, just for you, because I think you have Rice. But for anybody listening, Rice, Adams is a little lower, but awesome. Buka, St. Brown. Pickens, no longer Pickens. Pickens ain't available.
Now deck attack. Now deck attack.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to stream the music. It's up there. I'll drop the link one more time. Stream House Call Handy on Spotify. Boom. There's also a second song up. There's 2 songs up there, so go check them out. More to come on this. I appreciate you all. I'll see you all tomorrow, probably earlier than normal. I imagine there's going to be some news that is going to be... Sebastian, you want to call in real quickly? Sure. As fast as you can. I can't really do a full team breakdown, my boys, so you're going to have to kind of... There's 466 of you in here from YouTube. I appreciate you all. Make sure you subscribe. Whoops. Also, the Fuego Player of the Week, ladies and gentlemen. The Fuego Player of the Week, I give you. It is House Call Handy.
Remains on fire.
Remains on fire. Fuego Player of the Week, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by FuegoStickers.com. The Fuego Player of the Week, not to be confused with the other Player of the Week, which is the
Gunner Player of the Week.
Brought to you by Gunner.com.
And we got to figure out who the Gunner.com Player of the Week is. 15% off your blue light blocking Gunners. Look at my rack of Gunners right here. You too can have Gunners. We'll be giving away a pair too this month. But go get Gunner.com blue light blocking glasses. Code Smitty gets you 15% off. But Fuego.
Remains on fire.
Fuego Player of the Week. The difference between the two players is the Gunner Player of the Week is predictive. The Fuego Player of the Week is celebrating a player that needs celebrating, that had a fire week. And Hendy had a fire week. 15% off at FuegoStickers.com. Get all of your sticker needs handled at FuegoStickers.com. All right, 916. I assume this is Sebastian.
Smitty, this isn't Sebastian. This is Tony, but can I ask you a quick question?
The balls on this guy. The balls on this guy. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Tony.
Just
Big
quick
balls,
question.
Tony. Yeah, go ahead.
But hey, Tony from Indiana. I messed up. I don't know if I messed up, but I traded Pickens for Hendy before the game, and it's already locked in. But I did get Pickens points.
Well,
I got his points.
yeah. So I don't think you messed up. I mean, Pickens and Hendy, bro. Did Hendy not just have 3 touchdowns?
He did.
Okay, so how did you mess up? Did Hendy outscore Pickens?
He didn't, but Stevenson's coming back though. It's the thing.
Well, but who says that that's a problem?
The coach. I don't trust the coach. What I was thinking. They'll sprinkle Stevenson in there, taking away Hendy's like thunder. So they didn't know if I messed up. They didn't realize how good. I don't know. Pickens is a really good player. I underestimated
Finish him.
All right. Not only did he, try and get into the phone line when Sebastian was supposed to call, but then he comes in and drops some Hendy negativity after he just traded for him. You just traded for him, bro. You wanted him. You went and went after Hendy. You got him, and now you don't want him. He scores 5 touchdowns in 2 games, and you want to break up with him. You're self-sabotaging the relationship between you and Hendy because why? He's at his best right now. You've held him all year. In the past 2 weeks, he has 260 yards, 4.9 yards per carry, and 5 touchdowns, and now you're all bleak about it? All right, Tony, I appreciate you. No hard feelings. You're my boy Blue, is what it is. Is Sebastian calling or not? I literally opened the phone line for him, and he hasn't called. Ricky, Turbo, you can call in, but you and Sebastian only, real quickly. Travis, if he's out there, can call in. But I don't know what Sebastian's doing, if he's on the pot right now or what's going on. Hendy plus Diggs or K9 for Bijan. Hendy plus Diggs or K9. Yeah, I mean, I'd trade Hendy either one, Diggs or K9. I'd rather give you Diggs and K9 for Bijan, but I take Bijan, bro. JJ plus Diggs for Puka and Jamar. Is that Puka or Jamar? Why not write it, Devo? I don't know what your slashes mean, bro. I can't stand when everybody uses slashes because you don't know what in the hell they're trying to say. For Puka or Jamar, I'd probably say, if this is or, Devo, I would probably say Puka for Jamar, JJ and Diggs for Puka or Jamar. I would take Puka without a hesitation, but I'd still take Jamar over JJ and Diggs. I can't imagine you're getting both, so I'm going to go ahead and assume this is or. Yes, Puka or Jamar, but Puka especially, like 100%. All right. Okay. Let's see here. If you don't have the number, here you go.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Sebastian only, or Ricky. BentonPrint.com phone line. Took the W thanks to Dak attack stack 9-2. Now any moves before the trade deadline. Dak, Stafford. I mean, trade one of the quarterbacks if it's a 1 QB, if possible. Genty and one of the QBs for just a safer running back. Hall and Genty together for Cook or higher. CD Pickens, you keep that Shiat. London and Genty or London and Hall. I'd rather keep Hall. London and Genty for one monster. London and MHJ for one monster, potentially. I'd try all those Simi Valley. Those would all be very, very good moves. Thank you very much for the super chat, by the way. But I think Genty and a quarterback in London, a quarterback in MHJ. You could trade a quarterback and London and MHJ, or a quarterback Genty and MHJ, or a quarterback Genty and London for one monster, or a monster and somebody like small. Like, let's say you went after, Genty, a quarterback, and London, and you got Cook and, another player that was like J-Mo, rising up, like Pickens just was. Pickens was so attainable, which is why he was in so many questions this week as, answers to questions this week when we're saying, go trade for this guy, go trade for Pickens, go trade for Rice, go trade for, the next one up is probably Adams, Rice, and Buka, and they're a little higher ranked than where Pickens was, but they're falling. And the fact that we have people like nonstop in almost every live stream say somebody, 1 or 2 people every hour, are we giving up on Buka? Are we giving up on? I know he had 100 and a touch the week prior, Smitty, but he didn't have the game that we wanted. This happened one time in a row. So are we giving up on Boca, Smitty? Is Boca now not a wide receiver one? Is the Boca hype dying? he had a bad game, Smitty. Hey, Smitty, is Lamb now not a number one wide receiver? If Lamb would have caught that touchdown, Lamb was a top 5 wide receiver lock for everybody coming into the live stream. Lamb chops, Pickens. Don't forget Lamb. Pickens to the moon, Pickens to the moon. Well, don't forget Lamb to the moon. It would have been a Lamb show. It would have been a Lamb basting. It would have been a Lamb affair. But because Lamb dropped the touchdown, now he's attainable. Go buy him low, people, while it's still in the cards. And then I think I did this one from Dave. Handy Diggs K9 for Bijan. Handy Diggs or K9. Yeah, I did that one. So if I didn't emphasize, so the JJ Diggs for Puka or JJ Diggs for Jamar, in that order. Puka much more than Jamar. I'm still doing Henry Diggs or Henry K9 for Bijan. Now, if you do Henry K9, you can do both of them. Or, I'm sorry, Hendy. Hendy K9 for Bijan, and then JJ and Diggs for Puka. You get Puka and Bijan, that's wild that you transform your team like that. Is this Ricky or Sebastian?
This is Ricky, but you can't let Sebastian go, Smitty.
Okay, Sebastian, you can call in. Oh, wait, he still didn't call.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It almost feels like he's trolling. He says he's not, but he says it's asking for a password and this and that. So.
No, it says press 1.
Yeah, I know.
Ricky, try pressing 1. I'm trying my hardest to call. You're trying your hardest to call in. It says press 1 to begin.
This is Ricky. I'm just muted with you.
Or not Ricky.
Sebastian.
I'm sorry, Sebastian. Sorry, Ricky. I keep saying Ricky. Sebastian, it says to connect, press 1. Like, it's not asking for a password, Sebastian. He's saying it doesn't. I don't know. You're dialing the wrong number. Go ahead, Ricky. What's up? I appreciate you.
Yo, Smitty, I was just checking if even with the schedule, I'm like guarantee on the playoffs you take Rice any day over Barks, right?
Rice over Barkley, yeah, of course, bro.
Even though his schedule is like literally like butter cake.
I mean, it's something to think about if you get. I know, but here's the thing: is the trade market value for So ignore the Genty stuff. I don't want to erase this because I'm still got to put this on the board over there and kind of reorganize it. Just ignore this right here, people. Let me cover it with the. If you got to look at it like no one's trading for Barkley, saying, "Oh, I'm going to trade for Barkley plus this great schedule." They're like the fair market value for Barkley is the fair market value for Barkley. So if you were to get plus a player, then I could entertain Barkley and a player over Rice, depending on that player. But there's no way I'm just going to try and factor in schedule and then reassess their values and that way and then overpay, essentially, or underpay by not accepting the trade.
That makes sense. All right. Appreciate you, Smitty.
All right. You got anything else, bro?
That's about it. I can't. I just gotta do something here in like 2 minutes, and then I can just hang back.
All right, my boy. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Yes, Sebastian. Someone give Smitty my number.
Yeah.
Sebastian, I'm not calling you, bro. All right, go ahead, Travis. Travis, Sebastian, put your message in put your question in a message, damn it. What are we doing? You're doing your best. How you doing your best? It's a phone number, Sebastian. You dial it. Let's stop acting like Gump. Smitty, I'm doing my very best. I'm trying. I'm telling you, I'm trying my hardest.
Can't possibly be because he's from Canada, right? There's nothing that would interfere with that.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's the only thing he said that made me pause at all.
Okay, maybe. Maybe.
Well, move to America and you can call Smitty. Across the border.
Did he type it already? Let me look for it. Called the exact number and it sent me to a voicemail. I don't know. Maybe you called one day like 8 times in a row and you got blocked or something.
Oh. Wait.
Let me see what his questions are. Maybe we can piece together his questions. Smitty, I'm panicking.
I don't think put anything.
The phone line
He's been
opens.
panicking for 2 hours.
Smitty.
Look, not one of his messages has football. It's just pure panic for 2 hours. Fashion's in a rough way today.
Hold on a second, Travis. 1 second. Smitty, I'm begging you, save my season, please. I think a trade needs to happen. Can I call in? Hold on. We got more lyrics here. Travis, is the phone line free? I can't pay your super chats, unfortunately. He's doing my job for me. Some of this rhymes really nicely. Miguel, I had Pickens, but I traded for Jamar. I had Lamb and I needed him for 70 points and he sold me. Hold on, let's see some more fresher takes that he's dropped. Damn, I tried my best, Smitty. I appreciate your time. I tried to get on, I don't know what's happening. Is the phone line open? Smitty, I need you back. I need a 70 from CD. All right, I do have to go soon. Travis, what can I do for you, pal? You're live.
Oh, he posted his question, finally.
Okay. I needed 70. Yeah, so your super chats won't work. Let's just be a little bit of a detective here. Your super chats won't work. I wonder where you are right now that's different than where you've been before. Like, is he always in Canada or is he in some sort of weird place that maybe doesn't allow the calls? I don't know. Like, are you dialing out properly? Because maybe you need to dial like a certain number to dial into the show that you're not normally, like, I mean, just a little bit of detective work. My team is Mahomes. Wide receivers are Chase, Lamb, and Adams. Running backs are Genti, Dowdle, Javonte, and Kyron. I'm 6-5. I need to win. You needed 70 points. Didn't get it. That sucks. To win 2 and 3. To win 2 out of 3 to make the playoffs. Next week, I play CMC Puka, then Achan, then JT. I'm trembling. I'm trembling. Bro, come on, man.
That team. Look at his team.
I've never heard of someone trembling before for fantasy. Okay. Mahomes, I mean, your team's solid. I don't know what to tell you. The guy's got Puka and CMC. He's probably gonna try and put it on you next week, but you can win the other 2 games maybe. But what are we trying to do here? Trade? Like, did he even ask a question?
Nope.
My team is Mahomes. No, you can't even hear the music, can you? Because of the damn filter.
Hold on. He says, I want to trade up our running back. Genty makes me piss myself every week, and I love Dow. Running backs, I guess. Genty is upsetting him. But he loves Dowd.
All right, last thing, and I got to go. Then I got to go to Travis, and then I gotta wrap up. I mean, look, I don't know you're going to get anything for Genty other than if you package him with something. And it's not like you listed these like starters, but so I don't have much to work with. And I'm not going to look for another message. You've had enough time to try and get this question across, and you didn't put enough to really do anything. I can't really make many trades here. I'd say trade Jamar. You're trying to get into two pieces. You could do two trades. You could trade Jamar Chase into two players. You could go after Buka, Rice, and get an additional player, and then maybe work another trade with one of those players with Genty to get another player. You know, two-step process. Would I trade Genty and Javonte together for one elite wide receiver and roll with Dowdle and Kyron? I would consider it. Oh, he's got Adams right there. The receivers are really good. I mean, I don't know. I guess I would say, you know what? Trade Genty and Javonte for one running back, one elite running back. And if you could start all six of these guys, depending on then I would do that. So Genty and Javonte for James Cook. Genty and Javonte for any running back that you could maybe go get using those two that fit that bill. James Cook is one. Achan's another. Bucky would be a real intriguing player to get. I know you're waiting on him. Maybe he comes back this week. It's kind of a gamble, but would I trade Genty and Javonte for Bucky and something? Even if I could get something, sure would. Think like that. Cook would be fantastic. All right, that's it. That's enough for Sebastian. He had plenty of time to try and get that in there. But I would imagine he's in a different location than normal, which is why he can't super chat, which is why he probably is not pressing, 9 to dial out. Check the DM. All right, Rocket, I'll do that while Travis goes. Go ahead, Travis, you're live.
Yeah, no, just real quick, all I was just wondering was, are you just worried that Burrow isn't going to be good when he comes back, or that he won't come back, or what's your? Because you were saying you hesitate in certain situations on Chase and Chase Brown. Like, I'm kind of buying on him. I understand if you need a win this week, Chase is an issue.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the he's out.
A,
he's out 1 week. B, Burrow's still not, back. The earliest he could be back would be it's probably going to be week 14, but he's trying for week 13. So this is week 12, week 13 he's trying for, but this could be 2 weeks. So he's out, and then with their record and no playoff hopes, I just wonder if something's going to pop up and Burrow's not ready. I don't know.
Okay.
But
so just that questions around Burrow.
But it's also that, like I said, though, if you look at the board, Chase is a hold, a sell, or a buy. So if you're not getting Rice or Buka and something, then it's a hold because of the things you're saying. Like, nobody should be racing out to trade Jamar Chase for the highest bidder. But I do believe that it is a smart move to go get a Buka plus something, to go get an additional piece.
Okay, and just so obviously Genty's in a tough spot, but with Judkins, I get that's a volatile offense. But do you think it could be partially rookie Wall on top of it that he's hitting a little bit?
Sure, absolutely.
Because it seems like this time of year with the guys who start from the beginning, which is a nice thing about Hendy, and if Harvey gets going and stuff like that, is I don't think they'll have a rookie Wall.
Yeah. I
All
don't
right,
know.
appreciate it, Smitty.
Yeah, as far as Chase, just to clarify though, because if you had any confusion, then I'm sure other people do. Again, I wrote on the board for a reason, guys. Hold, sell, or buy. So if you're trying to trade Chase for cheap value, then you need to hold. If you see somebody reacting to selling Chase for cheap value, you buy. And if you can get rid of them for very equivalent players, like Rice to me can outscore Jamar Chase on the year. I still firmly believe in Rice. I think Rice is a monster. And Buka plus something is just way more attractive than Jamar Chase right now. Given Chase is out for a week, and I don't think like he walks back in with this attitude problem that AJ Brown has, but I do wonder what is going to happen if Burrow can't come back until week 14, and then you tell me you're in a playoff race and you lose 3 straight weeks because of it. You know what I mean? Like if Chase is out week 12, which he is, and week 13, Burrow doesn't come back, and let's say Flacco is playing like trash, or Flacco goes down because in week 12, Flacco's getting hit 4, 5, 6 more times that game because they can't move the ball down the field. He's holding on to the ball too long. And then, then like what happens if if you take 3 L's of Chase value? Like if Chase is like a 0 because he sits out week 12 with the suspension, then week 13, he drops, 4 points. Week 15, he gets you 6 points or 12 points or 8 points when you could go get Buka, who I believe could, Buka and something. So that's my point. It's not, and same thing with Chase Brown. There's a reason Chase Brown on here has a buy, sell or hold. Would I buy him? I suppose I could put the buy there too, but I'm selling or holding. If I'm getting Dowdle or Buka, look at that value. That's fantastic value. So that's what it is. So definitely don't sell low and hold if you need to.
All right, cool.
All right, thanks, Travis. See you tomorrow, bro. Appreciate you. Later.
Bye.
Rockout's message is right here. Let me play that real quick. We do.
Mashed potatoes!
Thank you, Rockout. Couldn't have done better myself. Did everybody hear that okay? Hopefully that came through clear. I was having some mic switching going on. You heard nothing. You never hear a peep from... Did that go through or not? Audio was muted. Okay, let's try it one more time. Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go.
Run. Handy, he be going, score mad, touchdown. That's how we be going, play all day. House called Handy, we don't call him that for no reason. This is how we going, like we spill into the easing. This is like a newest season, we keep it so easy. Beat yourself, house called Handy, that's how we do.
That's how we do. That's how we do, is what I said.
Mashed potatoes! Yeah, buddy.
Run. How we do. All right. Thank you, Rockout. Appreciate you. Rockout to the moon. Couldn't have said it better myself. And let's hit this Marquez question, and then I think we're out of here after Johnny Sack. Johnny Sack says, Nico has ankle injury still, trade for. Yeah, I mean, the price is right. We'll have to monitor the ankle, so we have to approach trades with the caution on it. But I mean, I still think Nico's he's always an injury risk. So you gotta make sure you're buying at the right price. Did Sebastian get a trade done? Thanks to everyone who helped get Smitty's attention for me. Just Thanks, Smitty, for your time. I don't got money like that right now, so appreciate you and your entire chat for having my back. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what's going on, bro. But appreciate you. Okay. God, Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, London have Jalen Warren this week was brutal. Thankfully, I picked up Emmanuel Wilson. Nice job. So Marquez, I appreciate you. I got Chase Brown, Jamar Chase in London. Yeah, man. That's brutal, Marquez. That's about as brutal as it gets. You literally have all of them injured. I would still try and do a lot of the trades that we're talking about. You apply, Can you get rid of Chase for Rice Buka? I mean, you're talking about missing a game. It's a big deal to be missing a game. So even if you traded for Rice straight up, it would be understandable, in my opinion. Now, if you've already made the playoffs and you don't need a win, and then you're a good candidate to buy Jamar Chase. If the Jamar Chase owner in your league can't afford an L, to go knocking on the door. That's the whole point of this board. That's why this board is written the way it is. If you are 7 or 8 wins in, and the Jamar Chase owner's 4, guess who's vulnerable? The Jamar Chase owner. If you got 4 wins or 5 wins, or 6 wins, and it's a real close race for the playoffs, you might have to send him for Rice or Book. And the person that owns Rice or Book might have 8 wins, 7 wins, and they might want to do the trade. All right. Thank you all. Appreciate all 400 of you on YouTube. There's another additional 100 or 200 on X. See you all tomorrow. Appreciate every single one of you. To the moon. Super chatters. We had the 19. Let's see here. The $20 haulers were Mark Cleveland, Racing Boy, Husseini. We had Shelly with the $100 hauler essentially, and got on the lamb board for the first. No one's ever been on the get lambed board.
Get lambed.
Surprisingly, no one's requested that. I don't know if maybe they just didn't know they could request that one, or what because it's so short. But congratulations, and also Shelly's on this one. We'll hit the end of the show with this right here. But she's the first person to sponsor the Get Lambed, and also the DAC Attack.
Oh, DAC Attack. Oh, DAC Attack. Lamb. Pickens. Lamb. Pickens. DAC Attack. DAC Attack. DAC Attack. DAC Attack.
By the way, Husseini wants to be on the Rushy Rice video when we have that. Definitely, Husseini, remind me when we make it to put you on it. I might need a reminder. Guys, fuegostickers.com. 10% off using code Smitty. I think I said 15 the other day. I meant 10. Or the last hour, I think. 10% off using code Smitty at fuegostickers.com. 10% off. And the Fuego player of the week for this past week 12, a celebratory Fuego player of the week, is Hendy.
Remains on fire.
Remains on fire. Go get your stickers at fuegostickers.com. Currently the official and only sticker sponsor of the channel. So you need stickers. Fuegostickers.com is your people. 10% off using code Smitty. See you all. Oh, wait. I got Shelly's. I got to move this over. Hold on a second.
Get lambed.
I know why I had this. Never mind. I got to move this. This was showing up on every screen. There. Now it should be exclusive. Let me try and test this. Yeah. Okay. Exclusively to the Get Lambed board.
Get lambed.
I was wondering why it wasn't animating. All right. Don't forget to get on over to the 24/7 live chat Patreon group, which is a pinned link in the live chat, but I'll drop a fresh link right here. Here's the link. Here's the link to play Underdog. Promo code Smitty. And if you use that link, it'll insert code Smitty for you. Play 5, get 100. Play week 12 right now. If your season's in the crapper, start over. Draft for just week 12 in a Battle Royale week 12 contest. Or draft in the final quarter draft, they call it, where you're playing week 17, 16, 15, and 14 only using code Smitty. All right. See you all. Appreciate you. Do it live. Patreon, link in the description, link in the live chat pinned. Here's the fresh link for the Patreon. Hit this link. I'll see all of you over here. What is this? Thank you. Oh, this is a different. Here, hold on. I copied the message. This is what you want right here. Boom. Hit this link. Boom. That link right there. Freshly dropped, also pinned in the live chat, and then also please click the link in the description of the video. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you all for being here. You guys absolutely rock. See you tomorrow morning. I'm sure we'll have a news show on someone's injury. Someone's gonna be out for the year. Maybe it'll be me. Maybe I'll have fractured my ankle getting out of bed, or running right now. I'll see you all later. Appreciate you. See you on the Patreon.